What is going on, guys? Rodney here with cryptobros. Welcome to tonight's video. Today is Fresh Coin Friday. That's not a real thing. Today we're actually talking about Nexo, which is hot off the ICO press, and it is really right up my alley in terms of projects I like to invest in. I am all about these type of loan-based business models, not only in cryptocurrency but in the real world. I am a holder of Salt and ETHLend, and I think this kind of perfectly ties right in there. I will say, before we get into the full review, three things that differentiate Nexo from some of the other ones. One, it's the world's first instant crypto-backed loans, which basically means no credit checks, no nonsense to get a loan. Two, it is SEC compliant. And three, the company that is kind of backing and overseeing Nexo, as well as a part of their team, has a ton of clout and a ton of experience in this loan-based, instant loan-based atmosphere. They're a real company. They know what they're doing, and I think those couple of things are really going to help propel this project to the next level. And I don't mean to sound like a shill. I just think it has a lot of things going for them. I mean, we can see that by some of the stats. This ICO is crazy. I'm not into it, but I think this is going to be a great long-term project. That being said, let's jump into this full review. But before we do that, if you guys haven't had a chance to subscribe to the channel yet, all you have to do is come over here, hit the subscribe button. Just know how much I appreciate every single like, comment, subscription you guys have been giving me. Seriously, feeling the love. Thank you. Let's talk about Nexo. So as we get onto this website, their big player here is it's the world's first instant crypto-backed loans. Again, like I said, no tedious processes, nothing like that. You put your cryptocurrency into their wallet as a collateral. When you pay off whatever loan it is, whatever you want to do, you get that cryptocurrency back. So it's a very simple model to understand. We'll kind of go through that. But if you haven't checked out their website before, it is nexo.io. You can check out this website, or I'm sorry, this video. It gives a very clear understanding of what the project is and what they're doing and how they're going to be profitable doing that. So anyway, as we kind of jump into this thing, the first thing I do want to talk about is really their backing and this I don't want to call it a parent company, but this is who has Nexo's back, and this is why I think that they're going to be so successful. So we can just see a couple of their bullet points here. They have a super experienced team that is continuously audited by Deloitte. They have 10 plus years in the fintech space. It says Nexo is powered by a leading fintech group serving millions of people across Europe for over 10 years while being strictly supervised by multiple European, God, I can't read or talk, banking and financial service regulators. And then also what we'll see on their advisory board, they've got guys on there from TechCrunch, who is maybe one of the most powerful people on the internet, and then one of our favorites, Polymath. So they've got some things going for them there. And then here it just kind of talks about some of the perks to using this token. It says it's compliant asset-backed token. It says Nexo is the world's first U.S. compliant asset-backed token, and is backed by an underlying asset of Nexo's loan portfolio. It's telling you right here that you can earn income passively by basically saying of the 30% they earn, or that the company earns, is actually distributed back to the Nexo token holders. What you'll see though is there is a disclaimer in their paper that says that may not be the case, and we'll look at that later. And then it says it also has additional utility. Nexo tokens offer additional utility features such as discounted interest rates on the Nexo instant crypto-backed loans, and they're also accepted as a payment collateral. So we can go through some of those things. They do have a working product. It is online. We're actually going to kind of go through that in the short term, but here's some very important numbers. I will say this website is laid out very, very well in terms of information. I was going to do some slides on here, but it just laid out very clean, so I'm not going to do that. I do have one that just kind of compares ETHLend, Nexo, and Salt, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But it says Nexo numbers, 1 billion in instant crypto-backed loan requests, and I remember when that was a big deal for Salt. For them to kind of get their lending platform going and for them to kind of hit that 1 billion in requested loan marks, and they did that. So Nexo has already done that here. It says 52 million raised in the token sale. They have 53,000 people on Telegram and 25,000 on their Twitter, which are things that I always look at. 30% profits to Nexo token holders. I'm curious to see how this plans out, and then 10 years of a successful tracking record. But here's like the real deal. I probably should just skip to this part. They're backed by Credissimo, and this company is in that fintech space, and they specifically do like instant loans. We can see right here, $120 million in loans granted, $155 million cash collected, and this is from 2014 to 2017. So they are well endowed in the space. And then even more importantly, especially when we're talking about the regulations, it says EU banking supervision. Credissimo adheres to the highest regulatory requirements and has been strictly supervised by multiple European banking and financial services regulators since 2007. Then it just goes into some stats here about some things that they have going on. So, and we can check it out. Even more stuff that they've had from basically 2007 to 2017. I forget how to make this thing go over. I was able to do it. Drag it. Okay. So yeah. A couple, top 10 alternative finance and European fintech awards, and then obviously Nexo doing this with crypto. Talks a little bit about their mission, but we are going to move on. I'm doing my best to get these videos down to a more digestible length. I'm just not doing a good job in here, but the business model is super simple. So here we are as the client. We need a loan. If we have crypto assets, whatever, we're going to call that our collateral, because that's what it is. We transfer it into the Nexo wallet using their Nexo Oracle platform. From there, we instantly receive our loan in fiat. And what was weird about this website, and this isn't a super important, I'm going to back up here. I'm going to finish this. So we receive our loan. Then when we pay it back, we get our cryptos back, and that is it. And really, when this website kind of fired up, they weren't using the term loans. They were using the term overdraft, and it wasn't talking about like an overdraft like your bank account. There's a difference between a loan. A loan is a fixed amount of money set with scheduled payments and a fixed amount of time. An overdraft is more of like a varying amount. So they might say like, yeah, you can have up to $1,000 in this, and you can kind of draw and use that from whatever. But if you only take the $400 allotment, you're only paying the interest on the money that you use. And then when you pay, your allotted amount back, that's when you would get your cryptos. I hope that made sense, but there is a difference between an overdraft and a loan. And I think what they've done is they've kind of changed the wording for people to better understand the fact that that they're getting loans instantly, and it's technically an overdraft, but whatever, it doesn't matter. They do have a credit card that you can apply for. You can get your loan on this credit card. Again, not a huge ordeal here, but what I do like about their website is we can actually go through and set it up. So let's just say let's just do like 5,000. Let's say I need $5,000. My minimum wallet balance is basically, we're going to say 15 Ethereum. One thing to note though is if we were to do this, and like today is a big day, it's Friday, I think that's the 11th. And if you've checked the markets, there's been a big drop. And what can get a little bit scary about this is since there's this big drop in the market, that drop in terms of value, that can work against you in terms of collateral. So they could come back and say like, look, you need to give us more crypto assets, or we're going to start selling when lending out, or when using our crypto assets as some type of collateral. Because if people bought Bitcoin at 10,000 and the price dropped all the way down to 5,000, they don't have as much collateral. So that is something to consider if you needed a loan for something. So anyway, we'll continue to work through this. So I need a loan for $5,000. You can do it basically from 1 month all the way to 24 months. It'll tell you your total, APR. The cool thing about like this system specifically, and it being technically an overdraft fee, is like I'm not making monthly payments on there. So if I loaned out, $5,000 and I waited all the way till month 11, I would basically just pay them back $5,801.55 because this does have a 16% APR. And that's a little bit, that again, that ties into that overdraft thing. When we have loans, you typically have a lower percentage or a lower interest rate because you are paying back monthly. With this, since there are no monthly payments, they have a higher interest rate to protect themselves a little bit. So this would be good, if you needed, 1, 2, or 3, 4 months to do a variety of different things, or whatever it is that you want to do, whether you're an individual or you're a business. This is how this would work. So flexible payment methods here and how you get it. You can get the free credit card. Well, they'll put your stuff on there and you can swipe away as you can do it. So then, if you went and swiped 5 different items, that would be your loan amount. When you pay that back, you'd get your cryptos back. At the same time, you can also do an instant, or you can do a bank transfer as well. So very, very interesting platform, very unique, right? So it walks you through this process already. So in case I did need this, I can instantly just sign up and I could go through with this loan and get the cash if I needed it. So anyway, moving on. One thing I also like is, they already have kind of like a targeted market. They're talking about cryptocurrency investors. So maybe like a guy like myself, I just need some cash. I have all my funds in type of cryptocurrency, and I needed cash to make whatever purchase it is. I can do that. They're talking about crypto miners because they're saying, setting up mining rigs can be expensive, and if you're most of your assets are in crypto, you need cash to buy this. You can do that. They've got hedge funds and cryptocurrency exchanges, so they're giving out loans for all kinds of different things. Very cool there. Also, this is probably one of the better. Man, they had this really great chart that shows how it would work, because if you were to loan out, 5K in Bitcoin, you don't actually make any profit on there. You sell it off for 5K, and if the market goes up to 8K or 10K, you miss out on those gains. When you're lending it out and you actually get your fiat currency and pay it back, you can still take advantage of the climb in the price, but at the same time, again, like I said, you have to be very careful if it declines. So anyway, this is just showing some of the things that it does. So speed of funding, instant, and it's saying, regular other, lending platforms, very slow, tedious process, asset ownership, yes, benefit from assets, value appreciation, yes. That's kind of that example that I just said. If Bitcoin goes up, 40%, you can still take advantage of those gains, and you can even use that to pay back your loan to Nexo if you wanted to. So that's pretty cool. Exchange fees, no. Tax liabilities, no. Volatility risk is low, but it is there. Free credit card, yes. They take cryptocurrencies, tokenized asset, utility tokens, including the Nexo token and gaming tokens. Here's where we kind of, this one just talks about its benefits over traditional lending. Like, yeah, it sucks, and it's, regionally based and takes a long time to potentially get your loan, fairly tedious. But here's what the comparison is for between Salt and ETHLend. They're just saying basically 10 years in the industry versus 1.5 versus 1 year. Instant and automatic. They're saying it's slow and manual. Flexible loan. You guys can check all this out on how it works. The big thing is that with this one, it is worldwide. Salt is U.S. only. ETHLend is worldwide as well, but still very cool nonetheless to see, the differences between the platforms. And actually, I just kind of put this quickly together, and this is based on like their fundamentals. What I found super interesting right now is, although Salt and ETHLend have been around a little bit longer, the current market cap of Nexo is at 90. And ETHLend is at 189 and Salt is at 104. So as of right now, even though this token is a very fresh, current market cap of 180 million versus Salt's 164 versus ETHLend's 68 million. But what you'll notice is that the trading volume on Salt is at $8 million a day, where it is on Nexo is at basically $3.8 million a day. But ETHLend is still hit BTC, maybe DDEX, and one more. We can check that out. So if this starts gaining traction, like I think it will, we could see some serious potential in this price action. But again, guys, this is super hot. A lot of buzz right now. A lot of people buying in. We'll likely see that market cycle at some point. The other thing here to note that is just I wanted to talk about like the circulating supply. ETHLend, basically 1.1 billion. Circulating supply with 1.3 billion total. I would say the strength of Salt in terms of like token fundamentals. Circulating supply only 58 million with a total supply of 120 million, and then Nexo is 560 million circulating with a total of 1 billion. But and I've said this before, what we've seen is that Basically, we're seeing some of these higher total token supplies do very, very well. 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion, still reaching very high price points. It's just not as, fluctuating as some of these lower cap coins in terms of supply and demand. So anyway, get out of here. Moving on, I'm going to try to wrap this up because I get it's getting a little tedious. But again, this is probably the most important part of the whole video, is talking about their team and advisors, just based on most of the projects that you invest in. You don't invest in like the idea, you invest in the execution of the people. And so top dog here, Michael Arrington. He is the founder of TechCrunch and has been consistently named one of the most powerful people on the internet by Wired, Forbes, and Time Magazine. Trevor, he is the CEO and founder of Polymath, and a platform that enables creation, insurance, and trading financial instruments on the blockchain. I'm sure you guys are well aware of Polymath. I mean, all these guys are super legit. Paulo is an executive director at the UCL Center of Blockchain Technologies and has held leading academic positions in institutions like London School of Economics, a bunch of other stuff, and we'll keep going. Hugo is a leading e-payment and SEPA expert who has helped shape regulatory framework of the banking and financial industries in the European Union. And this guy right here, Kenneth, is a U.S. White House Business Council business forward member with 20 plus years of experience in banking and capital markets. If we go down to the team, co-founder of Credissimo, and a bunch of their employees here. So I mean, again, guys, this is a big operation, and again, I've talked about this before. I think the reviewing of the team is very subjective. All these people look like all-stars on here. Are they actually? I don't know, but from the outward looking in, these guys look like studs. Obviously, I mean, this ICO sold out in a very short amount of time, and is still very, very hot even on today's front. So we hit some of these articles that came out. This is on Medium. I'll post those below. But what was kind of like the deterring factor here is it says front running Wall Street with Nexo, and it's very, I don't know, it's speculative at this point. But what it says is that it's no surprise Wall Street entry into the crypto comes through selected investments in compliant, dividend-paying, asset-backed tokens issued by companies with track records, solid business cases, and live products like Nexo. It's not saying that anyone from the smart money economy is jumping in here yet, but anytime you can tie Wall Street or something to a project like this, it is it's beneficial, even though not much is being said here. The other thing, we already talked about the numbers. 1 billion in instant crypto loans, 52 million raised in the 11x oversubscribed token sale. Big community, yada yada yada. Moving on here. I did quickly just want to talk about their Oracle. Oracle is kind of like I would say their operating system. This is basically running everything from the wallet maintenance, data analytics, automated notification, fund distribution, real-time asset monitoring. So they have this whole piece in place to help run their program. So that is very cool. And I just pulled this up on CoinCheckup. I don't know if a lot of people use this algo score or this algorithm score. I look at it just to see, sometimes on like the lower ones, even if it's a 2.3 or 2.0, the project is still very, very good. This got a 4.0 out of 5, so I think that's very important. All-time high, 42 cents. Current price point, 31.6. Then it just gets down to the token economics, and you can check out some of the news articles here. Last but not least, I just wanted to double check on the trading platforms: IDEX, DDEX, HitBTC, Hobet, EtherDelta, and Stocks Exchange. Again, basically 32 cents. Current market cap, 180 million, down 7% currently. But again, the whole market is down. So if this is a spot you're trying to get into, or a coin you're trying to pick up, maybe watch the market for the next day or so. If we still kind of see this FUD surrounding the overall market with the upbit ordeal, could be a good price point to get in. This kind of lost steam as a result. We can actually check out this chart really quick. So, I mean, we had a crazy spike, and then we're just kind of on this, we haven't completed this crazy up and down market cycle. I don't really know if I would count that one. as this spike all the way up to, it says 53 cents. But, generally we see a steady climb up, and then it peaks, and then it works its way down through a full market cycle. So totally up to you guys if you want to buy. I don't think this is a terrible price point at all in the current time frame, but definitely worth looking at. The last thing that I wanted to cover is this page. This just talks about their tokens and stuff, but I wanted to go down here, and this has to do with their staking or their dividend payout. And I'm going to actually give a shout out to the dude over at CoinCrunch. I actually really like this guy's channel. He digs in pretty deep. He provides some good information. He's honest. I enjoy his channel, so shout out to him. He's the one who pointed this out, and I think this is a very strong point here. And what it says, there can be no assurance that the tokens will ever be issued or dividends will be paid. Nexo is subject to complex, evolving, and expansive U.S. and foreign laws and regulations. There is no assurance that token purchasers will receive a return on their investment. Nexo has limited operating history, which makes it hard to evaluate the ability to generate revenue through operations, blah, blah, blah. So, I don't know. I mean, it is technically in there. I don't know if that's going to turn people off. It is the quote-unquote fine print, but it is something to, understand. I don't think that'll happen, but it totally could. But if we're basing it, just kind of on the overarching, theme here, they have strong projects, strong team, big investors, big names in there. I don't think that they would screw the community like that, and I also don't think they would put that out there if they didn't have a real, I don't know, gumption to kind of fulfill that. So I mean, it's part of one of their keys. So anyway, just something I wanted to point out. Shout out to CoinCrunch for kind of bringing that to all of our attention. But other than that, guys, that is really all I have for you. I do just want to check my my notes here just to make sure I didn't leave anything out. Working product, strong team. Yeah, notes, right? They have a target market. They've been proven profitable. They've got a hype and a big community, SEC compliant, and dividend paying. Oh, let's wrap this up. I hope that you found some value in this, and I hope this didn't go too long. I really wish I could check the time here. I'm trying to cut these videos down. Like you can see, like most of these reviews, 21 minutes, 15 minutes. I did one that was 11. That's pretty good. 16. I'm trying to crunch these down to 10, 12, 11 minutes so they're more digestible, and I know that I pretty much blew that today. So if you made it this far, thank you guys so much for staying. I seriously appreciate you. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I should say that earlier when you guys are watching, but leave them down below, and we will catch up. I respond to every single comment that you guys post out there. So just, anyway, have a great weekend. I will check you guys later.